The first half of today's show was a look at my formative years. And if there's a recurring theme in my life, it would have to be the bond that I shared with my mother. I was extremely close to her when she was alive, and I continue to feel her love today. In fact, I recently had a very powerful experience with her that was so moving that I needed to share it with you. I went to see an off-Broadway show called Listen to My Heart, the Songs of David Friedman, which is now playing in New York City. I was going to hear some great music, but then during one particular song, I wound up making a connection with my own mother. Before I share the song with you, I want you to see my talk with the show's creator, David Friedman. When I came to the opening night of your show, I was sitting over there in the second or third row on the aisle, and I was with a good friend, Natasha, whose mom had passed. And in the first act, You'll Always Be My Baby started to be played. And, you know, obviously it's about a mother and a child, and I really felt like I need to be here for her. And I started to turn my body towards her. And in that moment, I had this overwhelming feeling of my own mother, who's been gone for 14 years. And it was, you know, I felt like, whoop. It was a very strong spiritual hug, let's say, from the other side. And right at that moment, Allison, who was singing the song, looked right at me. It's like she locked in on me and started singing the rest of the song. And she didn't move. She didn't like look at anybody else. And it was very powerful for me because the line that she started singing to me was,
"In time, I was blessed with a child of my own."
And for me, my son is only a year old.
Wow.
And my mother never obviously had the opportunity in the physical world to be able to see him. So to hear that and to have that experience, to feel her and have it all like kind of come together, it was very emotional. I was like a total mess sitting here. And all I kept thinking was, while she was singing, was like, go away. Go sing to somebody else. So it was a very powerful, emotional experience that I wanted to share with the Crossing Over viewers. Here's Allison Briner from Listen to My Heart, the songs of David Friedman singing You'll Always Be My Baby.
Whenever I think of my mother, I smile at how she used to scold. Say something nice or say nothing at all, or wear a hat, you'll catch your death of cold. My mother's opinion was my own. Sometimes it seemed so unfair. She wouldn't hear of me piercing my ears and forget about lighting my hair. But when Bobby Caldwell broke my heart, she was the one who was there. She said, "You'll always be my baby, as perfect as can be. The little child I carry, God's precious gift to me. Though sometimes life may hurt you, and dreams may fall apart, you'll always be my baby." Hold that thought deep inside your heart. In time I was blessed with a child of my own, the answer to my greatest prayer. The day she was born, how they glossed over her, I thought they forgot I was there. But Mom sat down beside my bed, and this is what she said. "You'll always be my baby, you'll always be my own. You're still the child I carry, no matter how you've grown. My love is always with you, even when we're miles apart. You'll always be my baby." Hold that thought deep inside your heart. And Mom, I hold that thought deep inside my heart.
I hope you enjoyed today's show. I'd like to thank David Friedman for sharing his production of Listen to My Heart with all of us. I would also like to thank my friends and family members for taking part, not just in today's show, but for being such a positive influence throughout my entire life. I'm going to leave you with a few more of my relatives' recollections of me as a youngster. And remember, Crossing Over is a show that endorses living your life learning life's lessons and enjoying the journey. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time here on Crossing Over. I'm going to get some bologna.
He would entertain us. You know, we would be maybe 30 people at a table, maybe having coffee and cake, and John would come out dressed as E.T.
Sometimes he would put Vaseline on eyeglass lenses, or he would take them out of the frame until he cleaned them and give them back to her. Stuff like that. You know, little kiddish things.
John drives a piece of junk, okay? When we were at the video store, it was this color couch, red Charger. It was a piece of junk.
The most outstanding thing about John was his coloring. In this family, there weren't too many blonde, green-eyed children that came along. And he had such a crop of hair on his head and an angelic face that I nicknamed him the Angel. And I would say to my mom, look, we were sent an angel.